Ravens are out there. They get one of their breakfast. Fuck humans, man. Fuck humans. Fuck the BP dude, man. What the fuck? Puts on a fucking act man, fucking gang stalking fucking dog cart. You can't act for shit. Can't act for shit, BP, bruh. Ciao, ciao. Fuck Italy. What's up? What's up, Italy? Fucking hell, man. Getting a good chunk of baby. Weird fucking people. Now, all the fucking money I gave them, they couldn't fucking give me a free loaf of bread from the fucking one they gave me with a fucking mould in it. And how much money I fucking gave that VP, you know? And just, fuck it. Talking shit behind my back. Gang stalking with two dogs. Where are your two dogs? Eh? Too scared to walk down the street with your fucking two dogs because I'll fucking do telepathy on you and know you're fucking stalking me, mate. Because that's what you're doing. Like this guy down the fucking street, mate, with his fucking lawn business. Where's your friend? Hey? Too many toilets. Good. Why don't you just sell your fucking service station, bro, and retire, you know? Fuck. You know? Don't like fucking working there, fucking don't do it anymore, bro. Fucking rude old fucking cunt, man. Just fucking talking shit. Talking shit behind my back. I wouldn't do that. Being warned. What's they got here? Say hello. How many jobs, bro? How many jobs? How many jobs did you have, bro? How many jobs did you have, bro? How many jobs did you have, bro? Fucking gang stalking girls too with their phone last night. I don't know what was that. And there's trends are hanging out. There's a moon tree. Morning. Bit delayed. That was forced. Unless she said morning and like a dude that walked past the building and said exact shit. What lodge do you get?
Conspiracy to smuggle cocaine and possession of machine guns. If convicted, Maduro could get life imprisonment. And it's not just him, people close to Nicolas Maduro have also been charged.
Moscow has crippled Zaporizhzhia with a flurry of Shahed drones. It is one of the biggest attacks on the city in the past 4 years. Russia's deadly surge was just hours after it claimed that a Ukrainian drone attack killed over 25 people celebrating the New Year at a hotel in occupied Kherson. Moscow calls the drone strike a terrorist attack that took place in Korli, a Black Sea resort town occupied by Russia since early 2022. Ukraine's army denies targeting civilians. It says only military targets have been hit. The escalating tension comes just days after Moscow claimed the Ukrainian military attacked President Vladimir Putin's residence in the Novgorod region. Despite Kyiv's denials, Moscow is firm. It has now handed over the proof of the Ukrainian drone attack to Washington. The spurt in fighting in the new year come at the back of peace efforts spearheaded by US President Donald Trump. But the developments on the ground point towards the war only escalating, with both sides firing on all cylinders.
Good.
Europe
Very good.
beyond. World is one.
The Russia-Ukraine conflict is entering into a very volatile phase. Moscow has vowed an inevitable retaliation of
Very good. Just get the fuck on with it. Hmm?
have survived the first 24 hours of World War III when they were
7 billion you die. Good.
30,000 to 40,000 people and create a nuclear cloud that would spread to Europe. According to leaks, the CIA has already been working on this scenario. There is a plan to have NATO troops enter Ukraine. In such a case, a direct military confrontation between the NATO bloc and Russia would begin. Stage 1. Initiation. As the nuclear threshold is crossed, hostilities escalate into a tactical nuclear war in Europe. Russia sends 300 nuclear warheads using airplanes and short-range missiles to hit NATO bases and advancing troops. NATO responds with about 180 nuclear warheads from airplanes. Russia's allies will be involved at this point. North Korea will send some nuclear missiles, not all of which will reach their target. China will also enter the confrontation. Casualties: 3 million people. With Europe destroyed, NATO launches a strategic nuclear strike of 700 warheads of U.S. land and underwater missiles aimed at Russian and Chinese nuclear forces. Before losing their weapon systems, Russia and China make warning launches, responding with missiles launched from launchers, vehicles, and submarines. Casualties: 6 million people. At first, nuclear weapons would be used as a method of preventing a retaliatory or second strike. Here it is more correct to speak not about the quantity, but about the quality of casualties. All means of use have priority targets. These are first of all missile launch mines, military facilities, large cities, large industrial enterprises, dams. If power engineers, military government bodies are killed, if power generation and transmission facilities are destroyed, the state will be irreversibly destroyed. In order to prevent the other side from rebuilding, Russia, China, and NATO are striking each other's 30 most populated cities and economic centers, using 5-10 warheads in each city depending on the population. At the moment when one side realizes that a nuclear war cannot be won, the war against strategic centers will turn into a war of defeat, the main goal of which is to destroy as many cities, population, paralyzing the enemy, causing her maximum damage. If the goal is complete elimination, then non-standard targets will be attacked. For example, Russia is considering the explosion of super-powerful warheads in the depths of the ocean opposite major coastal cities. The goal is a powerful tsunami that would simply blow away everything in its path. Also, a nuclear strike could hit Yellowstone National Park. That's where North America's supervolcano, or Yellowstone caldera, is located. A strike on this place would trigger a massive eruption, resulting in irreparable damage to the U.S. and the entire continent. A Yellowstone explosion could release between 1,000 and 2,500 cubic kilometers of solid particles, most of it in the form of ash. 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers around will fall ash layer up to a meter on the rest of the U.S. Ash layer up to 0.3 meters. The number of dead in the first hours and days is estimated at 50 to 80 million people. All infrastructure will be destroyed. Industry and development will disappear. A layer of ash impenetrable to the sun's rays will appear over the planet. It can stay in the atmosphere for at least 4 years. Airplanes will stop flying. Temperatures will drop. Some reports say 3 or 5 degrees. Others say 20 degrees. Casualties: 2 billion people. Stage 2. Nuclear fallout. Along with the ash, radioactive fallout will fall all over the planet. The horror of radioactive fallout is its ability.
Recco, Jamie.
Today we're going to look at a possible
Yeah, that's right.
destroy as many cities, population, paralyzing the enemy, causing her maximum damage. If the goal irreparable damage to the U.S. and the entire continent. A Yellowstone explosion could release between 1,000 and 2,500 cubic kilometers of solid particles, most of it in the form of ash. On 3,000 kilometers around will fall ash layer up to a meter. On the rest of the U.S., ash layer up to 0.3 meters. The number of dead in the first hours and days is estimated at 80 million people. All infrastructure will be destroyed. Industry and agriculture will disappear. A layer of ash impenetrable to the sun's rays will appear over the planet. It can stay in the atmosphere for at least 4 years. Airplanes will stop flying. Temperatures will drop. Some reports say 5 degrees. Others say 20 degrees. Casualties, 2 billion people. Stage 2, nuclear fallout. Along with the ash, radioactive fallout will fall all over the planet. The horror of radioactive fallout is its ability to spread radiation over a wide area, affecting people, animals, and the environment. Exposure to high levels of radiation can cause acute radiation sickness, which can lead to symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and fatigue. In severe cases, radiation sickness can be fatal. Stage 3 nuclear winter and famine. The biosphere has been hit so hard that planet Earth will never be the same again. The ecosystem of the equatorial zone, which is tuned to almost constant temperatures, will be particularly affected. There, even if the forests are not burned, the higher forms of life are likely to disappear, apparently completely or almost completely. But in the northern regions, the situation will be different and very complicated. Here much will depend on what time of year a nuclear war will occur. During the winter months, much of the fauna and flora is in a state of anabiosis, that about 7 billion people could die within 2 years as a result of the to prevent it. Let's say no to any war, and it is better to create something new than to destroy ourselves.
How come my phone is 100%? Hope you no battery. I'm away control for that. What's it?
Elon Musk, known for his groundbreaking innovations in Tesla, SpaceX, and cryptocurrency, took the hot seat in Full Send podcast. One of the standout moments of the interview was when Musk voiced his predictions about World War III, a topic not often openly discussed.
And, at some point there's going to be a third World War.
Yeah, of course.
And after World War III, who knows what's left after World War III?
I think that's what it does. Nuclear warfare.
It could. So there's arguably this race between, do we become a multi-planet species or World War III? Which one is first? And if World War III is first, maybe we never get to another planet. Yeah. Shit.
Subscribe to World War III Insights for more. Elon Musk, known for...
There isn't a fucking other planet.
You
I got bad spending habits. That's why I'm pro World War III. That's why I'm pro World War III. That's how much debt I have. I'm like, come on, World War III. The only way I'm getting out of this man, total global demise. As soon as World War III pops off, the first thing I'm doing is calling MasterCard, tell them to eat my whole ass. Told you I wasn't gonna pay you. And I don't let anyone near my ass. That's some shit the millennials do. I don't. Softest butthole in history. My butthole is so soft right now that when I fart, it doesn't even sound like a fart. It sounds like two kids telling each other secrets. I got bad spending habits.
That's hilarious.
You may not take interest in politics, but politics will take interest in you. So the same applies to AI many times over.
Ilya Sutskever, the man behind the invention of OpenAI, gave a pretty strong speech at the University of Toronto. He expressed great concerns about the upcoming AI, which might disrupt our entire world. Watch this.
The reason it's not going to be the most conventional convocation speech is because there is something a little different going on. Right now, we all live in the most unusual time ever. And this is something that people might say often, but I think it's actually true this time. And the reason it's true this time is because of AI, right? Obviously. I mean, from what I hear, the AI of today has already changed what it means to be a student by a pretty considerable degree. That's that's what I sense, and I think it's true. But of course, the impact of AI goes beyond that. What happens to the kind of work we do? Well, it's starting to change a little bit in some unknown and unpredictable ways. And some work may feel it sooner, some work might feel it later. With today's AI, you can go on Twitter and you can look at what AI can do and what people say. And you might feel a little bit of that. You wonder, hey, which skills are useful, which ones will be less useful. So you got these questions going on. And so you can say that the current level of challenge is how will it affect work and our careers. But the real challenge with AI is that it's really unprecedented and really extreme. And it's going to be very different in the future compared to the way it is today. Like, we've all seen AI, we've all spoken to a computer, and a computer has spoken back to us, which is a new thing. Computers would not do this in the past, but now they do. So you speak to a computer, and it understands you, and it speaks back to you. And it also does it in voice, and it writes some code. It's pretty crazy. But there are so many things it cannot do as well, and it's so deficient. So you could say it still needs to catch up on a lot of things. But it's evocative. It's good enough that you can ask yourself, you could imagine, okay, fine. In some number of years, some people say it's in 3, some people say it's in 5, 10. Numbers are being thrown around. It's a bit hard to predict the future. But slowly but surely, or maybe not so slowly, AI will keep getting better. And the day will come when AI will do all the things that we can do. Not just some of them, but all of them.
Anything which I can learn, anything which any one of you can learn, the AI could do as well. How do we know this, by the way? How can I be so sure? How can I be so sure of that? The reason is that all of us have a brain, and the brain is a biological computer. That's why. We have a brain, the brain is a biological computer. So why can't a digital computer, a digital brain, do the same things? This is the one sentence summary for why AI will be able to do all those things. Because we have a brain, and the brain is a biological computer. And so you can start asking yourselves, what's going to happen? What's going to happen when computers can do all of our jobs, right? Those are really big questions. Those are dramatic questions. And right now, as we start thinking about it a little bit, you go, gosh, that's a little intense. But it's actually only part of the intensity. Because what's going to happen? What will we, the collective we, want to use these AIs for? Do more work, grow the economy, do R&D, do AI research, so then the rate of progress will become really extremely fast, for some time at least. These are such extreme things. These are such unimaginable things. So right now I'm trying to pull you into that a little bit, into this headspace of this really extreme and radical future that AI creates. But it's also very difficult to imagine. It's very, very difficult to imagine. It's very difficult to internalize and to really believe on an emotional level. Even I struggle with it. And yet the logic seems to dictate that this very likely should happen. So, what does one do in such a world? You know, there is a quote which is like this, which goes like this. It says, you may not take interest in politics, but politics will take interest in you. So the same applies to AI many times over. And in particular, I think that by simply using AI and looking at what the best AI of today can do, you get an intuition. You get an intuition. And as AI continues to improve in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, the intuition will become stronger. And a lot of the things that we're talking about now, they will become much more real. They'll become less imaginary. In the end of the day, no amount of essays and explanations can compete with what we see with our own senses, with our own two eyes. And especially with AI, the very smart, super intelligent AI of the future, there will be very profound issues about making sure that they say what they say and not pretend to be something else. And I'm really condensing a lot into a small amount of information here, into time here. But overall, by simply looking at what AI can do, not ignoring it, when the time comes, that will generate the energy that's required to overcome the huge challenge that AI will pose. And the challenge that AI poses in some
challenge of humanity ever.